Hey y'all, Rhonda here. Well, if you saw a couple of videos ago, I received this in a haul, and this is Tonic Studios Teapots and Teacakes die set. Contains 26 dies. There's a few samples of what you could do. So you get all of these dies, and I was really excited to try this. Sometimes when you look at dies, you don't know exactly what's going to cut out and what's going to cut into and all of that stuff. So I went ahead and taped this together. Need to clean it out and cut it out to see what it would do, just all of it together. And this is what all of it together does. Okay, and then if you just use the background, this is what it does. So you can layer this up, make a shaker card, whatever your little heart desires, but you could layer it up like that. And then the same way with the teacup. And this has pieces. This is a piece down here, this one is, and then this outside. And there's other ones here that you can use to replace it. There's another bottom piece, and then there's two more teacups. So you just mix and match, and then you have this one outer die to cut the whole thing out, or a background. So I cut this out, just out of scrap paper, and this is what I came up with. So I would need to take all of this apart, just use the back one, and it would be a solid piece. And then it would be like that. So anyway, I had to play with it just a little bit to see what the what is. You have your teapot, your tea mug, your teacup. Gosh. There's some desserts. There's another bottom for the teacup. Here's the two teacup inserts. Let's see. These are just little zhuzhy things. There's a spoon, and that says, I don't know. Oh, time to party, I think is what it says. So this is terrific. Oh, you're terrific. Terrific. So anyway, I'm excited to do this one. Love teapots. We read a book every year that's called Christmas Cup of Tea. If you've never read it, you need to read it. It takes all of 10 minutes. That's it. Really a neat book, well written. One of those that make you go, All right. So the paper I was thinking about for this is, when you think of tea, what do you think of? Tea and biscuits, sitting in front of the fireplace. Oh, you think all kinds of things. But what about Alice in Wonderland? Because that's a big, tea thing. Here's time for tea, tea party, Alice's tea party. There's a pot and tea. You're invited to tea. You're my cup of tea. So, I think I picked well. So I just grabbed some of these sheets because I didn't know exactly what I was going to use, or the back sides. And then I picked up a couple of plain sheets that would match to see what I wanted to do. So I was thinking I'm going to do a slim line. I thought about cutting a couple of these out, putting it on the slim line, maybe popping them up a little bit, and maybe use this yellow for the background on the slim line. And then, grab it here. You've seen me use this several times. This is shimmer paper from Recollections from Michaels, and it has this beautiful paper in it, and it has this, I don't know if you can see, it has a beautiful sheen to it. Not too much, just a little. I don't know if you can get any better than that, but anyway, has just a little bit of a sheen to it. And like I said, nothing wild and crazy out there. But I thought that this might be fun to cut out the outline of, say, the teapot, because you're going to have this, and then this is your back. So a back, you know, the backing part, the shadow part, whatever you want to call it, out of one of these, and then here's all the fanciful stuff out of these colors that match, and then layer it up. So that's what I'm thinking. So the orange goes pretty with it, the blue, and there was another color, oh, this mint. The yellow's a little bright, but that mint goes really well with it too. The grasses, the backgrounds here. So let me cut all this out and decide exactly what I'm going to do. But let me cut it all out, and I'll be back and we'll put a card together. Okay, well, I got everything cut out and I went a different direction. I was thinking about, my original thought was to do a slimline. But when I cut these cup and saucers out, they're really big. They take up a lot of real estate, because I was going to use these, a couple of these on here, these cutout cards, just random, and then layer these on, but this is so big that you wouldn't see any of that. Then if I just use these, which I've got them over here anyway, it wasn't going to be the theme that I wanted. I mean, it was just going to be cups and saucers. So I went with the Alice in Wonderland, and this is a 5x7 card. So this is some of the paper that I used. Well, maybe if I can get hold of it. And I thought for the border, I was going back and forth between this one and a dark blue. But I think this one won out. Well, it did win out. So we have You Are My Cup of Tea, and here's Alice and her characters. Here's some tea. I'm late, always time for tea. So this is what I thought I'd do. And then I had these layered up different, like this, but I think that was a little too much with everything else going on over here. So I was able to change these up, the blue on the blue, and I did use that shiny paper that I love so much. And I think I'm just going to stack these wonky like this, something like this. And I'm going to pop them up. I'll do dimensional on them. So it turned out to be a pretty simple card. Like I said, a lot of times I have a thought in my head, and then once I start working on it, I'm kind of, and I go a different direction. But hey, that's okay. So I have lots of leftovers for another card. Here is the teapot, what it looks like cut out and layered. Very cute. So those are actually pretty good size. And then here's a couple more of these that I cut out, no backgrounds yet. But anyway, just wanted to show you. So let me glue these two pieces together and decide which ones we're going to pop up. One or all of them or two of them, whatever, and start gluing this down and see what we come up with. Okay, so I glued these together and I put some pop dots on the back. I left a little blank spot right there because I'm going to stack them on top, and I don't want that, you know, looking crazy there. So that way that can go on top. And I did that with all of them. So let's glue this down. I miss my friend Deb that we worked together at the scrapbook store, because it was really nice when we were trying to decide a background color, and that we would do this thing where we would have our papers and we'd have the background, well, we'd have our like piece like this, and then we'd have, you know, the yellow on this side and maybe blue on this side, and then we would have close our eyes and then flip it up, and then, you know, whatever the first color that the other person saw would be the one. And so we used to do that all the time. And, you know, because a lot of times you think, well, one color is going to be perfect, and then it's not really eye-catching. And so it was nice to have her to bounce that off of. But she's been retired, but then she came back to work for almost 5 years, I think. And now she's retired again, but I think retired permanently this time. So anyway, I sure miss her. I mean, we talk and we visit, and I go see her. She's here in the same town, so it's not like she moved away or anything, but it was just nice having her there all the time. All right, let's see. Arrange these something like this. That way you can still see her. What do you think? I think it's kind of cute. All right. Let's take the sticky off the back of these. This little adhesive, it works really well. I got this in a gift from one of the retreat organizers, and it was a little box that she made, and had all kinds of little essentials in it, and these little pop dot things were from the Dollar Tree, and they work really well, and they're a good thickness. You know, they're not too thick that it's way up off your page, but I've been pretty pleased with them. You know, especially something from the Dollar Tree, you never know. Like that. Yeah, that's looking good. I like this. I have all kinds of tea stamps and sayings from that estate that I purchased, and so I can get those out. And use those. So what do you think? I think it's kind of cute. And I like the colors. I like that little shimmer. I think you can see it. That little shimmer. And I'm glad that I went ahead and went with the pink on the pink and on the orange on the orange and blue. Because like I said, I had them mixed up before, but it was a little too wild, you know, with all this going on over here. So anyway, I'm very pleased with it. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, until next time, bye for now.